Naazim Richardson, quote, Brandon Rios can be the first guy that really beats him up for 12 rounds. And he's referring to Manny Pacquiao. What up, YouTube? What up, boxing fans? E-King Fight News. That's a quote out of this Ben Thompson article on Fight Hype. And Naazim Richardson's making it clear that Manny Pacquiao might not be able to deal with the fire fists of Brandon Rios. And you know what? Styles make fights. On paper, Pacquiao has the style to dominate Brandon Rios. But in terms of this fight, you know, there's so many variables. There's so many questions that need to be answered. Manny Pacquiao, can he come back from a devastating knockout defeat? Can he come back from being knocked out cold? And you want to look back at history, there have been fighters that have come back from that. But those are very old fights. We're talking about Tommy Hearns, we're talking about Roberto Duran. In recent memory, the last great fighter to get knocked out cold was Roy Jones Jr. Truly great, like pound for pound type fighter. You know, during his prime, you know, Max Kellerman was on the bandwagon saying, this is literally the best fighter I've ever seen type shit, right? And look where we're at now. Roy Jones is a complete shell of himself. As soon as he lost by knockout, he was a completely different fighter. You know, he was thrown right off the pedestal. Will that happen to Manny Pacquiao? You understand how many distractions this guy has from dedicating his life to boxing. He's a national hero. He's a politician. He's been involved with acting. You know, from what I hear, he's in so many fucking commercials in the Philippines. Can he handle the press tours again? Can he handle that type of commitment? You know, can he go a full 3 months of training without any distractions? I don't think he can do it. I don't think he can do it, man. Like, he's fighting in Macau. Freddie Roach finna have to fly over to Macau to train the dude, or fly over to the Philippines. You know, and when he trains in the Philippines, he hasn't really been the same fighter as when he goes to California and dedicates his time in California. When's the last time you've seen that happen? And you really have to understand, Pacquiao's been on a downslope. You know, when you see a fighter deteriorate and go down in terms of his performances, there's been little improvement since the second Marquez fight. It's just been the styles of fighters have made him look better than he really is. And Brandon Rios' style may do that, but he's got a hell of a chin. He's got a hell of a heart. And has Pacquiao shown stamina as of yet? Has he shown, you know, a full commitment to really go full blast for 12 rounds? He hasn't done that. Brandon Rios has. You know, he just got simply outboxed by Mike Alvarado, who is a very difficult fighter, to his credit. And it really comes down to which Manny Pacquiao shows up. You know, if he's going to trade punches with Brandon Rios, it can go either way. If Manny Pacquiao comes to box, comes to circle, something he hasn't done in quite a while, but if he comes to do that and fought the way he fought Juan Diaz back in the day, then he will be able to upset. Well, he's a heavy favorite, so I can't really call it an upset. But you know what? I think this fight can go either way, and I think the fact that Brandon Rios is a 4-1 underdog is preposterous, because you can structure a betting strategy where you have both fighters by knockout, and, you know, in my opinion, there's no way this fight goes the distance. So there's a lot of value here on Brandon Rios. And in recent history, we've seen that even the greatest of fighters, and you can rank, there's no way you rank Manny Pacquiao higher than Roy Jones, right? So even the greatest of fighters have not been able to recover from a one-shot knockout, right? And especially, it's not like Roy Jones was deteriorating at that time. he had come down from heavyweight to light heavyweight. Pacquiao hasn't come down from shit. He's just deteriorating as a fighter. So to go up against this young, hungry lion, you know, Naazim Richardson sees that this guy is ripe for a beatdown. And that's what he means. And, you know, he's not going to be the first to say it. Maybe, I wouldn't be surprised to hear Joel Diaz say something similar. I wouldn't be surprised you know, we saw Bernard Hopkins say, you know, getting knocked out like that puts you back 10 years. You know, we're talking about Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins. So, overall, this is a very interesting fight. And in Macau, you know, Manny Pacquiao is going to have so many questions to answer that it's either going to be all of Asia celebrating the career or mourning the career of Manny Pacquiao. Let me know what you guys think it is, what it is. Peace out.